acquired advisory services because we felt we had hit a kind of a dead end with where we could go, and we knew that we had a lot to give, but we felt like there was just something stopping us, and we could really use somebody's help to kind of take that next step. We thought we could probably get more of our key, like our target market, as opposed to kind of chasing tougher leads. We thought there was probably more people that would fit exactly our clientele a little bit better, and wanted to speak to those people more often. That was a big one for us. And when I did go to those people, I wanted to make sure that my close rate was as high as I possibly could. And that's why we wanted to kind of start with that. Sales training's benefited me because I'm not a trained salesperson. It was never one of my strengths. It was something that I had to kind of develop in my career, kind of, at this point in my career. I'm a technician by trade, so it's a little bit different for me to kind of learn the people skills that come with sales, and that took me some time. And then now that we have more salespeople on staff, it's been helpful to kind of teach them to help do things the way that we want it done. Creating the documented sales process has made it just less stressful to go on a sales call, regardless of the size of it. Because I used to get really worked up and really kind of on top of, really kind of in my own head about going on sales calls. And since doing a documented process, it's easier just to kind of follow the breadcrumbs down the trail of making the sale. It's also been really helpful for new sales staff as they come on to feel more confident and kind of onboard a lot quicker, knowing that there's a process to follow. Paul and I are both in the Leadership for Organizational Excellence program. It really gives us an opportunity to sit down together on a regular basis and talk about the business, because we're so busy sometimes day to day that we don't get to worry, really dig into things deep for the business side of things. It's really nice for all the leadership of the company to kind of get together in a group, talk about things. It also makes the partners kind of think individually about things when they're away, and you find a lot more brainstorming is a lot more effective in between those sessions. So it's really nice to also get together with like-minded people to kind of know that our problems are not that unique. They're pretty standard problems. A lot of business owners experience it, and it's there's a comfort in that, just kind of knowing that there's other people that are out there experiencing the same things we are, for sure. So strategic planning to me is actually the most critical part of what we're doing right now with the leadership course. It really we get to dive down deep into the numbers, and we get to think kind of big picture. I'm a bit of a dreamer. So being able to have a designated time to be able to put those dreams to paper and kind of get everybody on the same page about what does the future of this look like, and where can we kind of see everything going. It's very nice to be able to just sit there and dream a little bit. The 3 to 5 year planning, and even more so the 10-year planning. It's a lot of fun to put that down on paper. It's also really good to clear your head of those things. What are we actually aiming for? Because there's a saying, if you aim at nothing, you will hit it every single time. So if you're feeling like you're a little bit more targeted, it makes you feel like you're making progress no matter what you do. And then it also gives you the freedom to be able to focus a little bit more micro at the 3 month kind of quarter-based strategic planning. Because you've already put the 10-year and 3 to 5 year stuff down on paper, now we can really dig down into the what's this quarter look like for us to work on, quarter by quarter, in order to kind of lead towards those bigger dreams. So it's nice to kind of separate those two things so you have designated time for each one. The executive one-on-one stuff is very handy because it's a time to talk privately to Andrew about all of our kind of issues that we don't want to necessarily talk about publicly, or maybe shortcomings that we think there are personally with ourselves as leaders. So it gives me a chance to sit down and kind of talk to Andrew, who's seen a lot of the problems that we are experiencing. And the same thing for Paul. He has an opportunity to kind of, he's new to the management, new to kind of ownership role. So for him to have somebody to talk to that's, I've been his boss for a long time, so sometimes it's hard for him to come to me and talk to me about certain things when I would expect him to know certain things. So going to Andrew is nice because he kind of does it with less judgment and a bit more of a teacher's mentality than sometimes I can, where I have sometimes expectations. We also have had experience with other kind of business training or seminar training or whatever. You send people away for a 2-day course and expect them to come back and implement everything, and then everything should be just perfect from then on. But the fact is that there is like a peak in that learning and they come back really excited, sure. But as the reality of the real world hits you, it kind of tapers off and it slowly kind of scales back. So with Sandler, it's that reinforcement training that I was talking about earlier. It's for us, for leadership, it's every single month. There's always another course coming up. So you're constantly always reinforcing the same ideas. And Andrew in particular is really good at kind of hitting home some of the finer points, some of the big details that you really need to know. He's really good at kind of repeating those and driving them in, and it's really nice to watch him in his business because he shows us and gives us real world examples of when he uses those things in his business, and it really reinforces. So I think the reinforcement's a huge part, just the repetition over and over again, reinforcing the ideas that we all kind of believe in, but sometimes you need to be reminded that you believe in. So working with Andrew has been probably one of the best business decisions that I've made. I've been in business 16 years, and working with Andrew has been one of the big things that has had the biggest impact to me. There's certain things that you do need to struggle and fight through to kind of learn the hard way, and then to realize the real benefit of what Andrew is teaching and what Sandler has to offer. But I have referred Andrew to a lot of my colleagues that are kind of in the position that we were in. And my main thing is, like, it's nice to have somebody on your side who's looking out for you and that's willing to kind of listen to you, but also challenge you. Because Andrew is by no means a yes man or anything. He definitely wants to challenge and push and expects a lot of you. And it's really nice to have somebody that is willing to constantly be challenging you and pushing you and expects a lot from you.